was of the opinion that you tell the colleagues on the other side that there's nothing before us. I have no idea what the references are being made.
Were you here from the very beginning?
My understanding is that...
Were you here from the very beginning?
No, I've been here since morning.
Please, can you... You've been here since morning?
I've been here since morning. I've been here from the very beginning. Today, I was
so
here
why did you say
when
no?
the prayers were being
If you were
said.
here, why did you say no?
I have been here all morning. I had no idea what you meant by the very beginning. But I have been here. I was here before you entered the chamber. I was here for prayers. I have been here throughout.
Minister, do you really listen to yourself when you are talking?
Yes, I do. I weigh my words very carefully before I speak.
If you were here from the very beginning before we started, and I asked you, were you here from the very beginning? You said no. Then you continue. And now you are telling me you were here even before I entered.
Yes, Mr. Speaker,
yes,
I've been
so
here
it meant that
before you
are not listening to yourself.
I had no idea what you meant by very beginning. I haven't been here this week. This is my first time I'm appearing in the House this week. I've been here since the beginning of proceedings today. And I do listen to myself very carefully and weigh my words carefully before I speak. You don't think so? You are entitled to your opinion. But I beg to differ.
Honorable Minister, this is not the Ministry of Communications. This is Parliament.
I'm very well aware of that, sir.
Resume your seat. Honorable members,
that the LI has not been laid. So I have no idea what we are debating in this House today. There is nothing before the House. So as you indicated to the Minister that we are not yet there, I was of the opinion that you tell the colleagues on the other side that there's nothing before us. I have no idea what the references are being made.
Were you here from the very beginning?
My understanding is that...
Were you here from the very beginning?
No, I've been here since morning.
Please, you've been here since morning?
I've been here since morning. I've been here from the very beginning. Today, I was here
why did you say
when
no?
The prayers were being
If you were
said.
Here, why did you say no?
I have been here all morning. I had no idea what you meant by the very beginning. But I have been here. I was here before you entered the chamber. I was here for prayers. I have been here throughout.
Minister, do you really listen to yourself when you are talking?
Yes, I do. I weigh my words very carefully before I speak.
If you were here from the very beginning before we started, and I asked you, were you here from the very beginning? You said no. Then you continue. And now you are telling me you were here even before I entered.
Yes, Mr. Speaker,
yes,
I've been
so
here
it meant that
before you
are not listening to yourself.
I had no idea what you meant by very beginning. I haven't been here this week. This is my first time I'm appearing in the House this week. I've been here since the beginning of proceedings today. And I do listen to myself very carefully and weigh my words carefully before I speak. You don't think so? You are entitled to your opinion. But I beg to differ.
Honorable Minister, this is not the Ministry of Communications. This is Parliament.
I'm very well aware of that, sir.
Resume your seat. Honorable members,
Mr. Speaker, I'm really taken aback by the turn of events. I thought that we were making good progress. I must say that I'm taken aback by this sudden insurrection in the House. But a sudden insurrection in the House. Mr. Speaker, insurrection in quotes. Mr. Speaker, I'm beginning to hear some threats. And let me remind my colleagues who are signaling threats of the imperatives of Order 30, of the 30L. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, I'll read Order 30L. 30L provides the following acts or conducts shall constitute a breach of privilege or contempt of Parliament. And L says attempted intimidation by threats. Attempted intimidation by threats of members in the conduct of their duties. The honorable member, the minister, is a member of this house. He wants to perform a simple duty, and he's coming under serious threat. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind colleagues that they cannot do that. Mr. Speaker, now the issues have been raised about the need for the Minister for Trade and Industry to have maybe involved the Committee on Trade and Industry. Mr. Speaker, whilst I agree that that may be a legitimate request, the Minister, we must understand, is not under any obligation so to do, because this is an instrument and it is a subsidiary legislation that has charge for it. And I thought that, Mr. Speaker, you are even going to provide space for the chairman of the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation to be heard on this matter. And the ranking member. We've not even heard them. We've not even heard them. Because they have that specific charge to deal with this matter. Mr. Speaker, I believe, because for now the instrument has not been laid in this house, all that we are doing is pre-laying consultations. So people firing guns at what is not before us in the manner they are handling it, as far as I'm concerned, is incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible. This is backroom consultation. We should limit it to the backroom. But we come on the floor as if the thing is before us, and we are firing guns. Mr. Speaker, I believe in the infinite wisdom of this House, that if the matter comes before us and is so appalling the way some members are describing it, we have the collective wisdom and integrity to stand together and Mr. Speaker, decapitate it. If we can't stand together, it is so appalling. You don't believe in the collective wisdom of this House? So the matter has not come before us properly. So all that we have been doing, Mr. Speaker, it has to do with import of some items. Listening to some colleagues is made to appear as if overnight the ministry and the minister is going to ban all these products. Nothing can be further from the truth. Let's not misinform the general public. At the heart of this legislation is import substitution. You want to protect local industry. That's at the bottom of it. How do we do it? Progressively? How do we handle it? I think that should be the preoccupation of this House. But people are taking positions as if, oh, we are for this, these people are against this. It's most unfortunate. It's most unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, the order 166G of this House again comes into play. Order 166, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, it refers to the position of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. There shall be a committee on subsidiary legislation which shall consist of so and so. And then 3G provides.
Thank you very much. I ordinarily would not have made a comment, but having listened to the chair of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee, the Honorable Dominic, I'm compelled, whilst you guide this House and leadership on what to do, that the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry, pursuant to his powers in the Import-Export Act of 1995 and Article 11 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Ayeni draws attention to an important matter, and I want to place it on record that probably his committee have been misled. When it comes, Ghana is a signatory to the World Trade Organization, WTO, and we are signatory to WTO within. WTO requires that it's automatic and that your system is simple, transparent, predictable, and says that the power should not be conferred on the minister, but an independent judicial committee, not the minister. That is what WTO protocol says. So whatever information the Honorable Ayeni got, Mr. Speaker, I will go with the Constitution, I will go with the law. The principle to protect infant industries is important. We should build consensus on it. But Mr. Speaker, he should hold on and respect your directive. Go back to the committee, fine-tune it, do proper consultation. Then, Mr. Speaker, my final caution as former Minister of Trade and Industry, you may by this legislation be inviting retaliatory measures by other countries, be guided by it. Other countries may decide that you have said that, okay, I'm restricting import of rice and sugar. We will restrict the import of your processed cocoa into our trade regime. That will have consequences on the very balance of payment and export regime you want to regulate, particularly from the EU. So, Mr. Speaker, I thought that he has powers, but the powers must be in pursuit of the public interest of Ghana. The stakeholders of Ghana have expressed disquiet, and Mr. Speaker, the WTO protocol also requires that there must be extensive stakeholder consultation. So as I listen to the Honorable Leader, Honorable Atiforsen, he says that copies of the stakeholder report is not made available to him nor to the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation. We are a member of WTO. The minister must respect all the protocols, including the import licenses regime. But my worst fear is using this to invite retaliatory measures from other countries. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That the former minority leader raised it, particularly on the WTO rules. We were very conscious about that. There is an exception under the Article 12 rule. There's an exception under that, particularly when you're talking about the balance of payment issues. Clear exception on that, Mr. Speaker. And then the question of stakeholder consultation. Mr. Speaker, we started dealing with this particular document when I first got the ministry. It is taking us about 4 months, Mr. Speaker, to run through the country for consultations all over the country. It now surprises me that everybody is suggesting that they were not consulted. Maybe it's obvious that every single particular grouping, every single individual, Mr. Speaker, may not possibly be consulted. But I can assure the House that, Mr. Speaker, there was a broad sweep of consultation among all the individuals who now are possibly coming out to say that they might not have been consulted. Mr. Speaker, that story seems to be one-sided. It seems to be one-sided. I have also heard other groups, the AGI and others, who are very happy that this is now coming to the floor, and that they appreciate the extent to which this is important. Mr. Speaker, they talk about Guta and others. Mr. Speaker, I have had so many meetings with Guta. Mr. Speaker, they are now, Guta is actually part of the committee that will take the decision. Mr. Speaker, let there be no doubt in anybody's mind, and this matter is troubling me. I take Katie Hammond out of the equation. Mr. Speaker, it is not for the minister to take the decision, and I've said it consistently that
there is a committee, Mr. Speaker, which now comprises about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 groupings, ministries, institutions, organizations, including, Mr. Speaker, the Beverages Association they are talking about, Mr. Speaker, including the Ghana Union Traders, that is the Guta, Mr. Speaker, they are all there. And then ultimately, one Honorable Akunyethu Ablakwa says that it is for the minister to take the situation. It is not. Mr. Speaker, you look at the instrument, Mr. Speaker, you will see conspicuously by its presence that it is the committee that makes the recommendation. The committee decides to either grant or not to grant. When they decide, Mr. Speaker, then it comes to the minister. The minister may. I don't particularly see the troubling aspect of the word may. It's all over the place. But what is, Mr. Speaker, critical? They talk about checks and balances. Mr. Speaker, Regulation 19 deals with the review of the decision of the minister. Mr. Speaker, when the minister has refused whatever it is, Mr. Speaker, 3, a person dissatisfied with the decision of the minister under the regulation numbered may seek redress in the court. Mr. Speaker, I can't see how explicit it can get. How can a minister arrogate unto himself the decision to do this or to do that when he has the sword of the court hanging around his court? That is the remit of administrative decision-making process. Mr. Speaker, they asked me to include the cement. We shouldn't include cement. I did indicate, Mr. Speaker, incidentally, Mr. Speaker, there were 2 allies that are presented. One of them had to do with the cement, specifically with cement. So I indicated that cement shouldn't have been there because we have a special, specific ally for that. So, Mr. Speaker, we agreed to delete it. It has been deleted. There were other instances that they said we should change a few, tweak a few of the sentences around. Mr. Speaker, we dealt with all of that. The committee report that Honorable Dr. Ayine, Mr. Speaker, talks about is very clear. The legal position, they said we are not contravening any regulations. We're not contravening the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, it's simply the fact that my colleagues simply do not want it to be late. And then they make the point, which, Mr. Speaker, is completely unfair. Consistently, they have been saying that they represent the good people of Ghana. I have been wondering which people that we do represent on this house. I obviously don't represent the bad people of Adansi Asokwa. I represent the very good people of Adansi Asokwa in the Ashanti region of Ghana. My colleague here represents the very good people of some part of Ablekuma. So this whole business of them representing the good people of Ghana, it's unfair. It's unfair. Mr. Speaker, it's entirely in your hands now. We've gone through all the, Mr. Speaker, all the
Honorable members, I think we've had enough.
Thank you very much
on this matter. I decided to devote this time for it because the instrument is very key to the health of our economy and a number of sectors in the country. That is why I allowed this time, space for us to have a discussion over the instrument.
In wrapping up, respectfully, Mr. Speaker, there are 2 important issues that came up, but we need your guidance on that. The fiscal impact analysis, because it's a matter under the Public Financial Management Act. And then, Mr. Speaker, the petitions that have come, 6 strong associations, Guta and the rest, FABA, Mr. Speaker. So at least they should listen if the minister and the trade committee can engage them. Let's not be seen leaving them out. So I just played with you, Mr. Speaker.
The act cannot amend the Constitution. That is not
a matter of record that it was the NPP government under President J.A. Kufuor who was in government. So, Speaker, indeed, of the 11, and of course, the current Minister for Trade was then the Deputy Minister for Energy. he handled all those transactions at the time. This is a matter of public record. Mr. Speaker, indeed, of the 11 or so petroleum agreements